ULTI.TV.
Yeah, and welcome to second last match of the season, Swill versus Junkyard. Swill so far are the opposite of undefeated and doing a mighty fine job at that. in the meanwhile, we've got Junkyard to the right of screen starting, and they're going to be receiving the pool, and they're looking to continue Swill's streak at the moment. But I can guarantee Swill will be living up to their name tonight and trying to pull down those big, horrendous grabs. Junkyard looks pretty strong, tight team at the moment. Favourite standouts there at the moment being young Greg. We've got Drew and Sando, but that's in amongst a whole lot of other really fine players, so probably a bit unfair of me to pull a few out. Fred Bowden has been a bit of a standout for me as well, even though starting on sideline, which is a very important position, so that's good to see. So Swill starting to the left of screen. So Sean's got the disc and will pull it. He's been good at the moment in the regular season, and as we end in the second last game, I'm sure he put on a spectacular performance, pulling up a few big ones for the big boy Mark Botko to pull down. And also Marty's another one to look for in the deep as a receiver, and also on D I'm sure he'll get a few good defensive points there as well. So here we go, 3-2-1. Offside as usual by 2 players, which is not too bad for this competition. Drew is letting it go out. So that's another good start by Swill. Sando taking it down the brick mark. Brilliant player. Baddox goes deep. Greg takes a short one. Baddox under really beautifully here. There's nothing going on. John wants it long, but he's not going to get that. He has to come back under, if you can see that on the screen. There's a good dump there to Sando. Sando's looking at John. There's a nice hard cut. He's got to clear though. There's a dump coming on. Sando fakes that one away. Baddox gets it. It's a lovely play here at the moment. Drew, if Drew gets this, something could be on here. Drew's a playmaker, big playmaker for this team. Watch for this big look away dump. Look away dump, nice. Look away up the field even, as it were, fools everyone, including the commentator. That's not good. Commentators don't like that, generally speaking. Dennis has the disc now. He can make something of this. He might put something big up for the boys deep. Greg is looking. Still and that's what we like about Sando. He'll always go for those second grabs, the second efforts. That's why he's captain. That's why he's picked at captain. He's being poached at the moment. That'll go back. Dennis wants the line. There's no line there. Rogers just putting out a good mark here. He's looking him in the eye. Drew's got that. There's going to be a give-go to Sando. There could be something on here. He's put it out, but look at Mark come in. He gets the points for the D. Lovely stuff.
Okay, hard D, Junkyard, hard D.
And we're back in with Bruce has just dumped it to Sean. He's looking for something. There's been a call on the play. I'm not too sure what it is though. But Sean keeps the disc. It could have been a kick. Didn't affect play. Disc is in, probably on count 0. Not more than 1 anyway. He wants the break. He gets that. That's what we like about Sean. Molly's got the disc. Now that's up in there. Sando should take this. No, there's a big mix up there. There's a drop. Sando picks it up. He wants a quick play. Black Caviar is in there. And Maddox has got it for the score. Nice work, Black Caviar. Thanks, Dennis. We're back in. It's 1-1 at the moment. Sando on a big pull here. They'll like to use that. Bruce picks it up for Swill, no drop there, which is good to see for them. They need that confidence, especially Bruce. No big layouts for Bruce recently, which is a bit disappointing. That's what he's well known for. Sean gets that. There's a big play on that by Baddox in his face. Sean wants the long one. That's on. Drew's there. Money's big. Oh, he's taken out. That should be a foul, surely. Drew will call that on himself. He'll say sorry. He's that sort of player. That's why everyone wants him. Might also be. We're back in the game here. Baddox is on the mark. Let's see if I can see with my bad vision. There's a contested foul. This is coming in on 1. It's in at the moment. There's a short one going up there. Big Kev puts one out there, but Marty didn't want that badly enough. I felt that if he really wanted it, he could have dived for it, but he didn't. He's out. There's an injury going on. It happened before the throw. He's done something. He's always had a few injuries. Been a bit injury prone last season. Probably during the last few games of last season, more to the point, but he's a fighter who plays basketball, and he's a very good basketball player as well. He's got the height for it. He's got the nous as well, and he really wants to learn. He's learned a lot in the last season that he's played as Marty. He's a great player, pick number 8 in the draft. Drew taps it back in. Mark Botker on the mark. Fred, as I said, brilliant player here. Look for something big from him. There'll be a big play here. He might even get a goal. Who knows? But there's another thing there, and Dennis didn't want that either. That's a shame. That goes as a throwaway to Fred, which is a real shame there because it's definitely within Dennis's reach. Mark gets that. Where's Drew? Drew gives him a lot of time. Gives him a lot of room there. Wasn't too sure whether that was the right way to do that. But there's something up the line. Went through all of them, and that just is down. Yoe picks it up. Sanday, the big mare. He's looking, still nothing. That was good cuts in, but just a bit too much covered. Look at Dennis there, all open. Drew streaming past him. Didn't want that either. There's a big in your face there. This is a how do you do by Steve. I just want to say hello and make sure that we're friends. Baddock's looking for something. Bruce doesn't want to give him that. Wants to give him the break throw actually, which is a bit interesting. Not honest marking. Sander gets it back. Captain's game. This will be, I have a feeling. There's nothing under. Greg's there. He wants that. That's a nice look. Good mark on there. All these unders are happening at the moment. Talis has a... Sean doesn't want him to give them the break. He's looking behind. He doesn't want the lines. Sean, a really good player there. Kevin, a little bit off Fred, but he was broken. There's that play I was talking about. He's a playmaker, is Fred. That's up, is Drew, off of Fred's play, so really Fred should have that assist, but Drew gets that. So it's another nice big point to Gold. Going for the pull here, and for those of you who might have wanted the review that thought I said 1-1, it's just a glitch in the tape. It's actually 2-0 at the moment to Junkyard. Junkyard playing like the dogs that they are. Sean just elects not to catch that, which is interesting. Gives them an extra 2 seconds to get down on their marks. Stephen, I should have had that. He will be unhappy with that. Claps his hands just to say as much. And there's a nice pick up there by Baddock, and that was a quick point. Lovely 3-0 to Junkyard. Like they keep saying, Junkyard is on a roll, 3-0. There's been big talk and buzz around the town about this team, Junkyard. Not so much about Swill, but that's probably to be expected. And I mean that nicely, as always. That's a beautiful throw there. Roger is a nice playmaker for Swill. Talis has it. This could be up, there could be, it's around the other side. That's a Hail Mary pass of the reverse order. And it's down on the ground. It'll be a walk to the disc. And I love Drew and his look away dump. Those sorts of passes just really make my spine tingle, I think. And a lot of people really like to see that play, and they wonder, how did he do that? Is he Jesus? Can he walk on water? Well, we're not too sure about the latter yet, but his Frisbee skills are definitely unquestioned.
Bring it up, boys! Bring it up,
Drew has it again. It's in the end zone. Look, there's a good opportunity here for Callahan, but it's gone begging. Gone begging in a big way. Look at that. Look at that. Right out the side there. Doesn't worry that Sean's in his way on the sideline. Baddock is hoping that will come in, and John probably had that in the end. Probably tried to milk that line a little bit, but didn't get that. Kev with his bright orange socks, unmissable. Great player, wants it back, gets it back. He's got the throws, he's got the fakes, he's got it all. Pivots, dumps beautifully. Bruce has got it. Can he have a captain's match here? There's a nice one on this, just on the sideline. That's a nice one up. John puts a bit in, doesn't quite get there. Roger puts it up, and he hasn't quite read that. He slowed down, and Greg streams past it.
3 points!
There's a yellow 3 points here from the sideline. Special comments by
Ben Foley.
What a great man he is. Back in, Drew's just throwing it, and this will be very simple. Praying a bit like who knows what there, bit of a Thor could get in there as well, but I think here we got Fred. That's exciting stuff from Fred. That's lovely. Baddock puts a little bit of a fake in. He's going for the same again, but he's this time he's learned his lesson, and he wants to put it in the field of play, which is really nice to see. And that's what we want to see there. Someone with safe hands that catches a beautiful goal. I think that puts it at 4-0 for Junkyard. Back on for the pull, and John will be wanting to get back that one that he missed. That, you know, it might have looked a bit hard, but it really probably was very easy catch for him, I feel. Just needed to put his body out horizontal, drag his toes, and catch it while in midair. And you know, that's all he had to do really. And he'll look at that on replay and think, gee, I really could have got that wide, didn't I? Kev sticks out a beautiful hand there to grab that swill from Bruce, puts up a big one. Again, there's a good read there. That's a lovely read and another beautiful effort there, but they get the score. Swill with their first one on the board, and they'll be very happy about that. You can see Junkyard walking back very disappointed about that. And we're back on. Just saw Tallis of Junkyard limping quite severely on the sideline, trying to walk something off there. It's just an update on the Junkyard team. Dennis catches that. Oh, he doesn't. He drops it. I made the call way too early, and there's been a change in developments here. This could be a big one for Swill. They're looking for more than one in a row here. Look, they're setting up here. Swill really wants something back here. They've left the disc on the ground there. They're not even bothering to pick it up. They're that confident at the moment, which is good to see. They're putting up the set play. Probably Roger will be involved, even though he's on the sideline. We're not too sure. Yeah, Sean's got the disc. Here we go. There'll be a one-on-one here, looking out, and he'll come around to the side. There'll be a simple dump. Oh, he's fallen over. He's not a happy Buddha. And Marty gets the disc. Look, that's pretty good work from Marty, the big guy. He did have an injury early on, and he's just come back to score Swill's second point. Good stuff, Marty. Palace just come back with some ice there. That leg isn't looking good. It's hard to see where he's going to put it at the moment. But up goes the pull by Sean. They're really inspired now, getting 2 in a row. That's the most they've got all season, I believe. I've just been informed. That is falling out the back there, and this Swill team really wants to put on a performance for all you viewers. John's just walked past and he's let me know that he's unhappy with my commentary about him by trying to pull the microphone out by tripping on it. But that's okay, we're back with the main commentary here, and there's really a chance for Callaghan here. They push them deep into their territory. Swill want that Callaghan. You can tell they want it bad. There are about 6 of their 7 players all in that end zone wanting it. Unfortunately, that leaves plenty of people upfield. Dennis has got that. Dennis can come in. Dennis loves those easy catches. And Baddocks has got that. Swill's still trying to make up numbers, still half the team in the end zone waiting for that Callaghan, and because of that, Dennis gets the score, throws it down really hard to say, look, we didn't want to give you that Callaghan, we wanted to get the score, and we got it, so there. Drew with his hand up, saying hello, we're down here, we'd like to pull the disc, and he does that because he gets another hand up the other end saying, look, that's fine, we'll let you pull the disc. Bruce with very safe hands here. They really wanted that Callaghan, I heard. Bruce in particular, you saw him in that last point. Sean with the disc. Steve, that's his second drop, and he really won't be happy about that. They might be playing in his mind that first drop. There's a foul being called on that somewhere. Don't know who called it on who, but Steve gets it back, juggles the disc, just to say, look, I can catch this. Probably South Australia's best southpaw bar none, and I'll say that to a few southpaws, so I don't just favour him. And look, who had a chance against Sando there? I don't know. I know I certainly didn't, but then again, most people would know that. Sando picks up the disc, wasting no time about it, but walking up to the line, so a bit of a contradiction there in his body language. Calls them forward, they're a bit too deep for him. Greg Marty, there could have been a pick called there. Everyone wants that disc. It's dropped well short. Marty very sensibly passes it off, gets it upfield, gains a few more metres. That disc is up. This is the Swill that we're really looking for. But Roger's safe hands. Roger, we love you, Roger. He can do no wrong. Roger, he's our man. I think I can't say much more about that. Well done, Roger. We're back. That's a lovely pull by Sean. That'll go right into the back of the end zone. Richie will be hoping to catch that, and he does, so his hopes are really set in stone there. The old 1-2, we've seen that before, the old arrowhead foot. John wants that. Greg is under, no, the Baddocks is under, sorry, and Greg as well. I was looking in a different place, but luckily John saw my first call. He must have been hearing me from way over there. We're on the other side of the field commentating, as you can see. I love the way Sando puts his hands out in front, but he puts the disc out in front even better. And that's a lovely last toe in. You'll see that Greg cannot find better than that, as I've been saying to most people all night. Up it goes, Dennis with the pull. It floats in mid-air, which is what we really love about this game, the way the Frisbee floats. No other sport is like it. Sean with quick 1-2. And it wants another quick 1-2. Baddocks is on that though, overcommits. Baddocks wants it back. He wants to just put it up there. He wants to get that scored. Will Dennis want it? Dennis doesn't want it as usual. Puts his hands up in the air. Sean wants it back in. This is going to be a game which is really fast, faster than I can commentate anyway. Floater is the call from the sideline. I didn't think of that, which is a very good thing. We should put this guy on the commentary. Roger, he's exciting. That's why he's exciting. Puts up a hammer, doesn't care. Mark Botka with the receive. Lovely stuff. And we've had a few bets down at the moment, and people are really putting their money behind Swill. It was really bad money if you had your money on Swill to start off with, but at the moment you're getting 100 to 1 back on them if you put your money on, and that's really good odds for Swill actually. Junkyard. Really, oh no, I can't believe that. Can you believe that? Did you see what I saw? That is not a captain's game. I think Sando should drag himself for that one, but he won't because he's that sort of guy. Two going deep, and they both fake back, or at least one of them does, Marty. And because they came back, they didn't have the legs to take it all the way, which is a pity because that was a goal, really gone begging. Yeah, we're still in here. Sando runs it back. He's got 2 on 1. He's got 3 on 1 now. That could be what we call a zone. It's hard to say. This will be exciting. That is exciting. He runs into it. Here's Greg. He's got John. Should give go. That's leaving a little too much, I felt. Up the line. That's what Greg loves to see. Greg will probably want to score this all for himself. He's doing a lot of the footwork here. Deserves it. That's beautiful. We don't know who got the D there. Steve wants it, I think. Mark might have got the second touch there, which might give it to him in the end. We don't know. We'll have to check that on video replay. Disc is still in though. Look at those orange socks. They'll blind you if nothing else does. And that's a beautiful throw. Kev will get that back. Sean with the disc. Directs play. Says, I want it over there. That's a high disc though. Marty should have that. Marty's got that. Remember, he did have an injury beforehand. That's not playing. Steve with a safe pair of hands that time. Could have dropped that. That's what we love to see from those orange socks. That is beautiful stuff. Pray out, not lay out. Oh, the other way around. That's what he did. Kevin looks a bit winded from that, but oh, what was that? What was that? Swill. That's a hammer. That's a big hammer. That should be received. Ah, just pops it up in the air, hoping someone else might get there. There's no one in front of him. He's putting some ice on his knee before. That could have been some of the reason behind him not getting that, getting his hand behind that. Sean walking to this. Fred will probably get a big block here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, nice, Joe. That's lovely, Joe.
Yeah, he called a big up call there, and I heard that from the sideline. That's what I like. And he's all over Sean. Sean to get that back. Sando put a nice bit in on that one. Didn't quite get what he wanted, which is that D back, which he got up before. He'll be getting some positive fantasy points behind that. Mark also getting some fantasy points in there. There's not a lot of movement up the top there. They're all sort of saying, Fred with that D, look, that's probably a match-winning D. I've called it here. It's a big call, but I think it's a match-winning D. That's out in front of him. Greg will lay out if he has to. He doesn't have to, though. And he's in. Another score for Greg. Well done, Greg. Number 2 pick. Damn it. 7-4 is the score, and I was just listening in on the timeout then that was called by Swill, and Bruce really rallying his troops, saying that look, even though it's 7-4, 4 more, and we're in front, and look, nothing could be truer than that, and that's what I like about Bruce, just his brutal honesty, which really inspires his players. The other thing that Bruce commented to his players, that said, look, just get free, and the handlers will throw it to you, and again, that's just you know, something which is gold, and I think I need to use that in my speeches in future, because it's just something which is so heartening for the team. And you can see how the Swill team has now responded to both of those comments by their captain, and they're really putting in the hard yards. That's a beautiful effort there by Drew. He gets in front. He might have an injury now, which is a reversal of fortune, because I think before it was actually Marty from Swill who had the injury, and Drew went to his aid and said, look, Marty, if you need off, that's fine. And Muddy's now going to Drew and saying, look Drew, I just want to respond in kind and say, you look a bit injured there, might be a shoulder, would you like to take some time off for that and have one of your better players come on? Is there a better player than Drew? That's what I keep asking myself. And yes, there is, and the player's just come on, that's Greg. Greg taps the disc in, doesn't pick it up though, so everyone's free to move. Very sporting of him. He's a gentleman of the highest order. Baddox comes in. These unders are just so free and open. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be happening. And T's got that. Sean gives up. Lacey says, look, I can't be bothered getting that one. He's already got it. And he did. Well done. That's half. And we're back after the halftime show.
If they get cared, it would be really
Elvis is well and truly alive, there's no doubt about that. And if he lives in this man who just made that pull. That's Sanderson. And that's what I mean. Elvis would pull and have it go out. Bruce asking where the brick mark is. Finally gets the answer he wants, which is right here. Put your foot down and I'll start stall count. That's an in-your-face one, and not surprisingly a foul's being called. People thinking, is there a foul? Because it was really a soft one, even though I heard it from over here.
Gave foul call.
So, yeah, in your face, and it comes back in on 0. Bruce taps it onto no one. He's pulled something there. Doesn't call the injury, but he is injured. And John with a great, brilliant first grab there. Jumping nice high and early. Bruce is off, finally calls the injury, and that might be a reversal of fortune for that team.
All in your mind, Bruce.
Okay, so the disc was brought back then. Drew was very nice and said, look, I didn't realise that Bruce went off injured and there's no mark on, even though we scored that one. I think it's probably better spirited if it comes back, and it did. So there was a substitute that came on. Steve tapped it back in, and then that play happened again. Unfortunately, Drew didn't get the same result, which was there was no score involved. So that's just explaining what happened to those people who are out there in TV land. So Bright Orange Sox now bringing the disc back in. He'll put a few fakes on. Fred, the stalwart defender here on that Junkyard team, is on Fred, calls a pick. We're not too sure how that happens. I think there is a pick in there though, so that's a fair call. Look, probably the 4 best players close to the disc in the competition, in my opinion. 2 of them now moved away. Alan commentary is never very good. I don't like it, you don't like it, let's face it. Sean with those say no. Blah 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 blah. Steve has the disc now, which is good to see. He's caught that with those safe hands of his. That's what I meant. Sean now with his safe hands. I was looking into my crystal ball and saw that play obviously way ahead of time. There's a good bid there on that. Didn't quite pay off there, but we love those big bids, and no injury on that.
He does aeronautical engineering, but he can't like mold his body.
Ricky with the disc. Greg will get the short one. Muddy's done a pretty good job all night on Greg. Don't think he's really got anything off him, but he's done a good job nevertheless. Ricky gets that disc back. Oh, Sando's lovely stream in and under, and Sando wants that disc for all money. Sean did his best to stay with him, but again, it's really hard to stay with the big man, Sando. Such skills, such power. The captain's game, as we said. Gino wanted that disc, but Ricky got it in first. So we've got Sando with the disc again. Sean's with a really big task. Look at those feet that Sando's got. Look at them just bouncing around all over the place. Nice and low. Gets that off to Fred. This will be a big play, I'm sure. Big money again. Wants the hammer, but it puts it around, and that's what I was talking about. Big playmaker to Drew. Fantastic work, Fred. 9-4. Both teams tied after that point, and that shows with only 6 players going to the line for Junkyard, and a call for legendary number 3 player and possibly Hall of Famer Dennis Shine to come on. Swill at the other end with only 4 players on the line at the beginning of the point, and their call, come on boys, let's get on the field. 2 of them responded, and then they said more please. And so that's how tied both teams are at this point in time. Steve with the disc at the moment. That's a lovely ground burner. Unfortunately won't get them any points today. Sando, big call from Baddox out there as well, who echoed my sentiments. Wanted that disc. That's a lovely reverse break throw, and that's why I called him a legendary Hall of Famer. He scored that point for them. Dennis Shine, number 3. Okay, so we're back, and Bruce really putting the fear of God into his players. He said, look, Fracker, I'm going to play this point and maybe 1 or 2 more if I can. And just his teammates rallying him around him was very touching, and so letting him know that he's got quite a few years of Div 2 mixed nats left in him, and that really made him feel good about himself. He ummed and erred for a while. That throw wasn't as good, probably wasn't what he was hoping for, but just getting back to my story, because that's what's important here I think, is that he then ummed and erred for a while and said, look, let's do a split stack. I think that'll give us options in the middle, and that's probably the best we can do. And again, such inspiring words from a captain. Lovely to hear. There's been a foul called on that play. Everyone's standing around still, as they should when the foul's been called, just letting new players know what's happened. But they get back into it and move. Baddox with a big round the play. That was always in safe hands. That was a beautiful run to get that D. And, well, again, many people would say John couldn't have done more than that. He possibly could have if he were better. Bruce asking for more from Jimmy. Bruce asking more from Jimmy, and the crowd asking more from Bruce. I don't know who can give more in that sense. I think you'd have to rewind that on the internet to find out. Either way, it was a good huck and set play. I think no one can deny that. Bruce is down there. It's looking like Dennis is going to pick up the disc because he's the one who's picked it up. Greg, lovely. And that wasn't lovely from Greg. He will not be happy with that at all. We'll probably go home, play a bit of Dota and forget about that mishap. That is high, but Mark Botka's easily to the task, and that's a score for Swill. And they could be on the comeback trail. It's really hard to say at this point in time. So let's keep watching this internet webcast. That throwaway. Just asking Greg what happened on that throwaway. Puts his hands up in the air and goes, not too sure which one are you actually talking about. And that's the one where Greg is candidness. Bring it back in. It's a zone is the call, just so that people know. It's a nice sideline that we have here. Dennis does a big swing across the field. Sando has to pull that one out of the air to make sure it doesn't go out. Does well to do that. It's got Drew there all around him. Drew could make something of this. Wants to put something through the middle, but there are too many people there. Puts it across. Sando can get the give go there, 1-2. Ricky gives it to Sando as expected. Looking for the dump back, but there'll probably be a crossfield hammer. There it goes to Drew. No one's over here. They're not reading the play. That Dennis could have had that. Baddox could have had that. Sonny Hill could have had that. But Sando gets it back. So it could just be walked up the field here, and there's nothing wrong with that either, I think. I think it's going to be another crossfield hammer. No, there isn't. It's up the line. I didn't see that because I had a few people in front of me. Dennis will want to put a crossfield hammer across to Ricky. Does so. Ricky's going in there. Bruce didn't want that very hard. Probably that injury he had before was affecting him. Ricky wants the 1-2, gets that from Baddox. Baddox probably could have done the same. Big hole in the middle there. That's looked off. Drew saying, I want that. Lovely alley hook there. Ricky wants to put that in. Can put that in. He'll get the 2 points for the score assist here. I'm pretty sure about that. There's no doubt in my mind, except until that point when he didn't. But there's still plenty of time left in that. Sando, on the other hand, can really make a play here. Drew's got that across to Ricky. Ricky wants those 2 points. That's why it's back to him. Fred wants to give him those 2 points. Runs past the front of the line. As I said, Ricky wanted those 2 points, and he gets them comfortably. Pool goes up, halfway through the pool, it's floating down. Big Kev, he has a double take at that one. That could have been a drop so easily, I think, if you ask him on replay. He'll be going, oh, I had that bat. Yes, I did. Up goes that hammer. Safe hands there. Down on the ground, though. That's back to Steve. He's in the game now. Bruce is in the game now. Kev also. Those orange socks really have never... There's that hammer. Crossfield. Stephen probably could have run straight up for that. He wants that disc back. Jimmy could get this as a score. That deadly flick that Steve hasn't really got there. And he's on the ground again, is that young lad. It's good to see people, Drew, like Drew himself, on the ground planting the seeds of truth. Immortal words, we know where we're going but we don't know where we've been. Well, that's true for everyone unless you've got a rewind button to hit, in which case you can see where you've been. Crystal ball gazing helps us to see where we're going as well. Junkyard at the moment are going very well. Swill is putting a zone on, but it's not a very effective one. I'd probably say it's a Swiss cheese zone, which means it's full of holes. It goes across the field again. Baddocks could get that. I don't know about the effective deep. Greg's got that. Was there ever any doubt that Greg had that and could put that across to a Foley of that calibre who gets that? And there's a big call from Ben, who just loves that work of his cousin John. Nice to see that love in the family.
On team.
Change of puller. Baddocks with the pull. Sean Lace with the pick up there of the pull by Baddocks. There's a straight up mark. They don't want any hucks. They really want to shut down this Swill team. Sando doesn't want anything from Mark Botka. Very smart player, Sando. Bruce puts a nice leading pass in front of Sean Lace, who accepts that. Bruce calls a Hoivu foul. It was uncontested. That's Dennis almost had that with a wave of the hand. Again, legendary Hall of Famer, Dennis Shine, pick number 3 in this league. Call of year, Bruce from Kevin. He receives the disc from Bruce, honours that. Sean wants that, he's got his hands out in front. He does get that in fact. Who's on him? Andy Baddocks. Bad boy Baddocks. He streams down the line, wants it, nothing there. Sando's in the way. Botka's just standing in the way. I think they've got a host stack going. Probably should have defaulted to avert by now. Steve puts it back to his captain Bruce, who calls for it. There's a bit of a hand in there. Mark Bott gets it. I think Mark wants the 2 points for this play. Gives it away to Kevin. Not really interested in that. Kevin interested in the 2 points instead. Sean gets there. Greg really good closing speed there, but not enough to take the score away from Sean. Well done to Swill. Score is 12-7, just as the score check goes. For about 20 minutes of gameplay left, I'm guessing. That's gone out. Ricky looks back, asks his captain, what do you want to do? Captain says, maybe sideline. That'll be interesting. Even though I didn't see a hand up, Brick was in fact the call. Greg gets the disc with those safe hands of his. Could call a foul on that. Marty had that. Fred tries his best to honour that throw by Greg, and even though I heard a big slap there from Marty's hand, Marty even looks at his hand to confirm that there was a big hand in that. Greg has a big smile at Marty saying, look, don't worry about that, mate. I'm better than you anyway, so I don't need to call that foul. And that's good sportsmanship, and I think on both their behalf to have that little dialogue and chat. And Marty's still looking at his hand of his after the big foul on Greg, and I wonder if that'll play any part in the next big grab that he has, if he drops it or not. We'll see, in time will tell that, I'm sure. Anyway, Chino's got the disc. Bruce wants it, Chino wants Bruce, but Roger's got it. That's a beautiful leading pass. Sean with those hands out in front of him. A la Sando. Run, Marty, run is the call, not fast enough. Marty is under, but Greg's still on it. Chino gets the disc back. He gets Bruce this time. Call of go, go, go. Sean wants something long. Not go fast enough. Bruce has got that. Now they're calling him under. Sean's directing traffic here like you wouldn't believe. And if Sean isn't, then the sideline is, and Kev's in charge of that sideline traffic for Swill. So Swill with good voice here. There's a call there.
Contested foul.
We're back in play. Contested foul. Uncontested foul, sorry. Oh, that's a beautiful put through, and hopefully there's a goal going on here. And he keeps it in those long hands of his. He runs down the sideline to the end. Everyone says, good on you, Marty. So obviously that slap that he had against Greg didn't affect his catch there, and we like to see that as well. We like to see everything here. We'll be back after the short messages from our sponsors. Zone Ultimate, bringing you the best in Ultimate clothing wear, and ULTI.TV, bringing you these games, best games in Ultimate coast to coast. And we're back here in this game. Ricky's got the disc, Drew's throwing it to him from a great pull. Dennis on the side by himself, Sean's way off of him, and there's a big cut deep. That's not on it though, there's too much traffic in the way to throw through. Drew's got the disc though, he's halfway up the field almost, or by about 4 or 5 metres anyway by my record. And there's that great outside in that Baddocks loves. Would have wanted a few more metres on that. They're just sharing it around. They want to say, look, who actually wants these 2 points? Fred says, I want the 2 points. Dennis says, I want 1, and the 3 points are divvied up between them accordingly.
Still time.
Almost at the 75-minute mark of this game. The score, I believe, is 12-7. Add 1 to each and you'll get the correct score. And we will have the pull, and that's a low one. I think he wanted more off of that. Might have tripped over his shoelace, might have been thinking about what he wanted to do on the weekend. I'm not too sure about what he was thinking about, but it didn't go the full distance. That's what we do know. And let's concentrate on the facts here rather than making stuff up. Swill with the disc at the moment. Bruce wanting it upfield. John fumbling over Bruce, getting it back. They're calling bumpies on this. John with his hand up saying, yep, look, you're probably right, mate. Wants to slap that disc back in. Probably call a strip after that if he drops it. There it goes. No drop, no strip call. We're back in. Kev's on the ground. Fred around him saying, look, get up, mate, this is not the place to be on the ground, especially on national TV. Kev puts a nice fake in. You really, if you're new to Ultimate, look at the fakes that Kev puts in, and that'll be great. Low to high, I'm not a big fan of the low to high ones, unless your receiver is also told to grab them. Probably because I'm a shorty myself, that's why I'm not a big fan of that. Orange socks in. There'll be a crossfield hammer there if possible. That's the big high one I'm talking about. But Bruce is every equal, falls over himself and the sideline and John and everything else that he can find, picks himself off the floor. Captain's game by Bruce that point. Pull, about to go up, Roger Cranswick. Legend from the 2004, maybe the 2003 AU pub crawl, as I recall. Some of the stuff he did that night really defies description and gravity. And I don't think you'd see anything like it on TV ever. But he's a great player nonetheless. John gets at this very wide stance there. I've never noticed that from John before, but his dumping is second to none. Ricky puts his hands out in front and says, I'll take that dump as well. Sando with the disc, captain's game. That's a nice strong pull out in front, runs onto it. Junkyard with another score, making the score 14-9. I'll repeat that again, 14-9. Just once more, 14-9. Someone stop me now. With another pull, doesn't trust his teammates after the last pull, which a bit disappointing to say the least. Shot his hands out in front. Up goes the disc. White cap. Kevin wants it back. Kevin gets it back. Oh look, this could be a score by Swill. Kevin puts it. That's a lovely disc, but Greg, they both got closing speed, but the line beats them all, as does the field, and out into the car park they go, trying to find the car keys. Walking up to the line there, watch that get kicked away as it does there, beautiful stuff. Time cap is the call. So we've got to complete this point to see where we're at, then we'll add 1 to the final score and play to that. So basically that'll mean that Junkyard could actually be winning just on their own merits if they score, because matches are to 15 in this league, and at the moment Junkyard are on 14. John really again looking for that layout in him. He'll find that one day, and when he does he'll be regretting why he hasn't done it the rest of his life. The feeling of laying out, going Superman, flying like Santa Claus does is just something unreal. Anyone who's been there will tell you that. Flick away of the water bottle which is in the way, back to Kev. Call of what would you know feel from the sideline, very unnecessary and hurts my feelings. Done it many times myself. Steve has the disc, white cap, there's been a call. on the field. We're not too sure what it is. We're still trying to get confirmation. A few tired players. It's back in play. Orange Sox has it. Says no to Joe. Go back, please. I don't want you. Not good enough as a 10 pick. Mark gets it. No, he doesn't. There was a contact there. It didn't affect the play. Mark doesn't think it did anyway. He probably still had a good bit on it. Could have been a bit of foot contact. Greg said sorry before. Mark thought, yeah, I've got the disc, and probably thought too much about that and dropped it. I think that's the way it went in his head. We can ask him later on, or you can if you've got his address. If you know Mark's address, please email it in to us, and we'll go around and ask him for sure. Drew, very safe hands. That was a beautiful hammer. What can I say? And that's the end of the game. Junkyard taking this game comfortably, 15 to something, and Swill again relegated to bridesmaid position. Will Swill ever win one? Come back next week, we'll find out.